Hey VC, what's going on? This is a response to the first thread from One Big Holiday 42. Um, Sent him a message about a question about one of his questions, and got an answer. And um, I'll do the response to it. This is the second time I'm shooting it because first time I did it, I had really bad lighting. Um, so I'll get right into this. First question was list of holy grails. First one is probably not a stranger to most of you that collect um, this particular band or collect records or rare records in general. Uh, but it's the Butcher cover. That's one that's been on my list for a long time because of the history behind it, the controversy behind it, the rarity of it. It's just I personally happen to think it's just really cool. Um, Another on the Holy Grail want list would be any original Slayer test pressing of any album. It doesn't matter. Probably not easily obtainable because you're not going to see them very often. And for one example, I saw Kill 'Em All test pressing uh, on eBay. It was a buy it now for like $6 grand. Um, According, and this was like a year ago or so, and it's been taken out. I'm not sure if it ever sold or anything. Apparently, at auction, they were selling for 6 to 7 grand. It is like, whoa, that's pretty cool. Um, but yeah, those are the two on the on my want list. Some of the albums that I have that were on the want list that I've actually acquired um, are first one being Scorpion's Virgin Killer. This is the original band cover. This is a French pressing, and basically, again, um, rarity, story behind it, kind of thing. And then also, this kind of this album for a while was a in a way a white stag, so to speak, because either a listing would get removed or I'd be outbid at the last second, or so on and so forth. So it was kind of but yeah, this is definitely one that I wanted and was ecstatic when I finally got it. Paid a pretty penny for it. It was not cheap. Um, Next up, Violent Brains is a Slayer bootleg from the Netherlands. Um, Pull the jacket out so you can see it better. Um, yeah, really cool cover that caught my attention. And It's from one of my favorite periods in their careers, so I wanted to include that as part of my Slayer bootleg collection, and was able to. And actually, this is one of the more expensive bootlegs, and I was able to pick it up with um, a couple of other Slayer records for really nice. The collection that I was given. Um, uh, there was a picture disc in there that I got that was really nice and worth a lot of money, and a really nice copy of my favorite album that I didn't have that particular pressing. Um, Rain and Blood picture disc. This is the German version with the actual artwork, and well, at least the album cover artwork. This is the reverse. Another really expensive bootleg that I paid a lot of money for, possibly too much. There you go. So those are the Holy Grails. Question 2 was Desert Island, 5 records you want with you. Well, that's easy. The first 5 Slayer records. Let's see, let's run them down. That would be Show, Hell, Rain, South, and Seasons. Of course, this is all a joke. That would be a pretty damn good list. But my list is here. First off, since it's one that I don't have in my hand or near my within reach at the moment, I got it. The middle one up there. I'll get my head out of the way. The middle album, Paranoid. That's one of the ones I want with me. I want that album in 5. The Doors. ACDC, Back in Black. I don't know how well you can see it. Black cover's not going to show up. When I shot this at night, it was hilarious because you couldn't see. Yeah, well, you've seen those type of videos from me before, so I don't need to go into that. Kill 'Em All. Favorite Metallica record right there. So that's why I need that with me. And Eminem, Curtain Call. And again, it's funny. This is a type of question I ask myself so many times, and it changes on a daily, weekly, monthly. But it changes because I did it. This version of the video versus the other one, the list of 5 was different. Next week it could be a new 5. The day after that it could be another 5. That's the way that it constantly changes. You could have different Metallica, or you could have different bands in it completely. It's like I mean it also changed. This wasn't in my original top 5 desert records. Like it constantly changes with every passing day. And the third question, influences or musical influences. I'm gonna take that sort of in that vein and go with who got you into what type of band and all that kind of stuff. Obviously, some of your earliest influences are your parents, so that's the way I'm going to take it that way, because when it comes to me and heavy metal, for one example, that was basically all me. Found a radio station by accident because my friend had borrowed my Walkman and it was still tuned to that station, but there was really no introduction from him or anybody else. But it was basically all me, and I just took it further. I started at one point, I went to another, I went even further, and and then years later I ended up with death metal, and and all that, and just kept taking it further and further and further. It's kind of an addiction in a way, but as I've said before in other videos, my dad was highly influential in the musical background, musical taste. The first albums that I owned were given to me by him. Basically, your first concert went to was with him, and so on and so forth. So I'll do it with 2 influences. I'll do first my mom, and then I'll go on to him. With her, I lived with her for the first 14 years of my life. She's from Chile, and so completely different influence there with culturally and all of that. The things that were being played in her house were things like Selena, Gypsy Kings. There was a lot of Mozart, a lot of classical music, and dig it. Uh, it's all good stuff. And unfortunately, I don't have any in the way of albums, material, or anything like that for them. I just haven't gotten that far. Another influence, obviously, my father. I've talked about REM and all of that. But the thing is, you know, there's influence as far as you know stuff that's still played to this day. In the house, Genesis, Dave Matthews, um, they'll call it solo work. A lot of stuff. To Zeppelin, The Who, one of his favorite bands, so on and so forth. And so I've gotten a lot of older um, influences there. Um, but I'll jump to two specific examples. And I don't mean to steal your thunder, Ernie, because I know you've referenced this album a lot. And there's a story behind it for me also. If you feel I've encroached your territory, I apologize. But this album, Use Your Illusion 1 by Guns N' Roses, there's a story behind it, being that I've basically had this, along with having this album in my life basically forever since it's been there. That's one. But the other thing, the song November Rain, there's a it holds a special place for my dad because of the circumstances you know surrounding the time of the release of the song, and the periods of life that it helped him through. It helped him through uh, breakups with my mom, divorce with my mom, and was helpful for him through very, very, very dark periods of his life. Um, and in turn, the album actually helped me. I won't name the song because I don't want to offend anybody, but there is another song on this album that also helped me through multiple dark periods of my life dealing with the exact same person. And I'll leave it at that because I want this to be a positive video. Um, and then the other one, and unfortunately, I do not have this on vinyl. Pilgrim by Eric Clapton. The story behind this, my dad gave this to me, and this is the actual copy. I'm in the fourth grade. I'm at school. We're outside of the grade school. We're sitting in this car, and we're discussing the the family situation, issues at home, issues with my parents, and all of that. It was basically because it was really really kind of at that time it was very very it was a difficult time for uh, family with the fighting between my parents and so on and so forth. And it was like he gave me this album and said, you need to listen to you need to listen to the track My Father's Eyes. And I you know it was really, I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain it, but I guess it was something that in a way it could be like a bonding experience between the two of us, and we come to an understanding of how important the relationship. I guess it was a reaffirmation in a way of of importance of the relationship to be maintained between the two of us, which it was at the time and is strengthened to this day, and a great relationship with him. I just, I don't, and that's really the only way that I could explain it. If that part's making any sense, it was just, I guess it was a song. I guess to put it in a sentence, it was a song that the two of us could share together, and we could gain a mutual meaning from and a significance from, and definitely, again, holds even to this day. Um, so there you have it. I hope I haven't taken too much of anybody's time. This version is longer than the last one. Um, so I will end this video now. I will see everybody in your next post. See ya.